What's up, you guys? All right, well, here we are. I'm back in the saddle. Monday morning. Friday was a great day, and here we are Monday. $35,000 in profit, trading the top two leading gappers in the market with the highest relative volume. Textbook trades, straight out of the momentum strategy, the gap and go strategy that we teach in the classes. So those of you guys that don't know my strategy yet, check out some of the links in the description to learn a little bit more. These two trades are both on my watch list, SCKT and WHLM. And it was a little choppy in the first like 10 or 15 minutes. I actually had made 6,000 and then was up only 2,700 and then was up only about 1,300 and was kind of at this point where I was like, if I go red, I'm gonna walk away. And then from there, I ended up making my way back up. And what saved the day today was WHLM breaking the VWAP breakout. And that was one of the strongest setups that I was trading in the month of June. It's what I made the most money on. And we got it today. It was what I made the most on today, from 8 to 9, 10, 11, 12, all the way up to $12.90. It's a almost 6 point breakout on the volume weighted average price. That is amazing. So that was the one today, and I'm feeling really good about this great start to the week. We've got 4 days left in the month of July. I'm at 615,000 on the month right now. So in these last 4 days, I'm just going to do everything I can to make this the best July of my career. I mean, this has been really incredible. The amount of volatility and volume that we've had in the market over the last 3, 4, 5 months has been really phenomenal for active traders. It's been probably gut-wrenching for long-term investors. It's like probably hard to figure out, should I be adding more? What should I be doing here? But for those of us that are day traders that try to capitalize on these short-term opportunities, it's been amazing. So I'll be back at it first thing tomorrow morning. 4 days left in the month of July. Going to try to finish up strong. And for those of you guys, wherever you're at on the month, this is a time to start thinking about how the month has gone and to start reviewing your metrics, getting ready to review your metrics for the entire month once the month is closed, and make a game plan for what you're going to do different in August. And there's things that even me, having traded for a long time, I could say in August that based on what I'm seeing in the month of July, I could do differently or better. And although this has been a great month, I did have probably my worst day in some ways in my career, which is that I had a day where I was up over $50,000 and then actually went red on the day. That's the biggest P&L swing I've ever had in one day. So, that's going to be something that when I do my sort of review of my own metrics for July, I'm going to look at that and say, where did things go wrong here? Because that really can't keep happening. I mean, it happened once, fortunately only one day this month, but and really right after that, I already kind of implemented some things to make sure that wouldn't happen. But still, it's something that you guys should do for your own metrics as well. So you can come into the new month, clean slate, kind of refresh, recharge, new goals, and August tends to be a slower month, but July does as well. So this year, it's anyone's guess what it's going to be. So I'm just going to be buckled up and try to ride the momentum. All right, so I hope you guys enjoy the recap. Again, questions, comments, put them down below. Check out some of the links in the description if you want to learn more about my strategy, and I'll see you guys first thing tomorrow morning, live streaming right here for the pre-market watch list. So if you're not already subscribed to the channel, make sure you subscribe. That way you'll get the notification when I go live pre-market when I'm live streaming. All right, I'll see you guys in the morning. What's up, everyone? All right, so we're going to do our midday market recap here. I'm finishing the morning up $35,021.26 with the majority of that profit on the top two leading gappers in the entire U.S. market today, SCKT right here, Socket Mobile, and WHLM. I also had some nice trades on MNOV, which was a gapper right here, up 15%, 37 million share float, and on Sojo with a 68 million share float, I'm actually red on by $170. So today was good, but kind of like some of the days last week, I started the day building a cushion on SCKT. That was the first stock I traded, and I actually traded it pre-market. It currently has 78 million shares of volume. WHLM has 26 million shares. SCKT had probably 10 or 12 million shares of volume before I took my first trade on it, which was buying this first 5-minute candle to make a new high right here for the break over the pre-market high with the target of a break of 4. Now, we didn't end up getting that break of 4 the way well, actually, I guess it popped up to 405, but it didn't hold over that level. So it was a little bit disappointing that it flushed back down, but that's the way it sometimes goes. Out of the gates, I took a couple more trades on it, and it popped up and then flushed down again. So I went from up 6,000 on the day to up only 1,300. And when I was up only 1,300, I had actually gone red on Sojo, SOGO, by about $2,500, and I was up on SCKT by a very marginal profit, and I was down on WHLM as well. So from up 6,000 on the day to up only 1,300, and some of you guys commented, you said, Ross, you just gave back half your profit. Should you stop trading? And I said, well, my rule of thumb right now is that I'll stop trading if I've given back half my profit after I've hit my daily goal. My daily goal right now is $10,000. So I didn't hit my daily goal. Now, I had given back a good amount of profit, and so I said at this point, if I go to break even on the day, that's where I'm going to stop trading. So at that point, I would just throw in the towel rather than risk going red. So $1,300 in the green, and that was at about 10 minutes into the open, so around 9:35, 9:40, whatever. And that's, as you can see here, SCKT. This one had a red to green move, which worked, but then I added right on this dip, and it flushed back down. So that's where I gave back some profit on that one. WHLM, right out of the gates, actually popped up for a second and then flushed down. And I tried to do this micro pullback right here under 950. That didn't work. Right back down to 770 real quick. This actually, it went into a halt, and I was holding into the halt, and then opened, dipped, popped up, and then flushed down. And I was kind of thinking this one was done until it came back up right here. It actually dropped all the way down, if you notice, to the 200 moving average on the 5-minute chart. It hit this descending resistance line at the open. It faded. I was red on it. And then as it came back up right here and broke over 8, I said, you know what? This actually, now that it's looking like it's going to hold over VWAP, first the break of VWAP right here, and then holding over, micro pullback. And then I started being aggressive as it squeezed up right through here. In terms of ROI today, my biggest position on WHLM, I think was 15,000 shares. I don't think I went more aggressive than that. I knew that this one, could be risky. So 12,000 shares at $10 a share, it's $120,000 or so in the name. So that was my biggest position on this. And I did pretty well considering I put, at most $120,000 on the line, roughly. $29,000 is great. And look, this thing ended up breaking the VWAP at 8 and then going up to 9, pullback, up to 10, pullback, halt, squeeze up to 11, to 12, all the way up to $12.90. On the break of VWAP, it's $5 a share. That's an awesome breakout. That's one that I should add to the classes because it's almost picture perfect. And on some of those picture perfect trades, I've made a lot more than 29,000, but on this one, because I had gone red on the stock at the open, and because I was up only 1,300 on the day when I first started trading it again as it broke VWAP, I was a little conservative initially. And then once it started to open up, I felt like I was chasing it, and so I had to be more cautious on share size. So some of those early mistakes held me back a little bit today. Again, first 5-minute candle to make a new high was right here. I took a trade on this. We got a squeeze there up to 1290. So some nice setups. My last trade on it right here, and that ended up being a false breakout and coming back down lower. So down to the VWAP, actually below the VWAP now. So that's the biggest winner, break of VWAP, and then the first pullback. SCKT. Again, going back to this one, the spot I made back some of my money was as it broke over the VWAP right here, gave it a second attempt, but it ended up failing and then coming back down. But I was quick on that to get out and book profit. On this, I actually took a 20,000 share starter and then went up to a full 40,000 share position, full size on this. And when it failed to break right here over 85, I was like, I got to get out because I'm in this deep. If it drops 20 cents, I'm down $8,000. So I was able to make back some of the losses, but it was not as easy as I hoped it would be. MNOV, I didn't trade it early in the day, but I did trade it as it broke over 9 right here. Micro pullback, a squeeze up to 968, and now it's forming a 5-minute setup, but I'm not chasing that or getting back in that. So $1,000 there. And SOGO, I was actually up 1,500 on this pre-market because all of a sudden at 10 past 9, there was news of a acquisition offer. Now it says it's from one of their subsidiaries, and that offer also was making the stock Sohu go up, which I guess these two are connected. So in any case, I jumped in it as soon as I saw that news with, I think it was 6,000 shares or something like that. And that was at about 825 and then adding at 830. When I added at 830, there was a 100,000 share seller. The seller did get bought up. It did break. It squeezed up to 68 or 58. I sold. It then pulls back, and I just noticed there were a lot of big sellers. I tried to take another trade, and that was right in this area, and I stopped out and ended up being red on the stock. So kind of a bummer from being up $1,500 or $1,600 to ending up red, but it was pretty choppy. It was not easy to trade. A lot of sellers, not sure what's going on there. So, typically buyouts are like that, but this is it's an acquisition offer. But again, it's by one of their subsidiaries, so I'm just not totally sure. So anyways, maybe I misjudged that. But in any case, I'm in really great shape here on the month. We've got 4 days left for the month of July. On the month right now, I'm sitting up 581,000 before today's profit. So this will put me up 615 in gross profit. And I mean, it's impossible for me to really set profit targets because on the one hand, today for a second felt like it might be a break-even day. Like I was only going to make $1,300 or maybe have to sell or stop out and be walking away flat on the day. And then all of a sudden, we got this awesome break of VWAP on WHLM. If we get break of VWAP trades like this every day for the rest of the month, I'm thinking I'll probably continue to hit my daily goal of 10,000 and probably exceed it on several more days this month. And maybe I will finish up 650, 700,000, maybe even 750. If we end up having a stock that goes really bananas and goes up 400, 500, 600, 700%, that could be a day where I break 50, 75,000, maybe even 100,000. I mean, it's possible. So it's really hard to set expectations. Rice, lighter volume stock, it's up only 30%. I didn't trade it, but I did see it as it squeezed here from 6 all the way to 850. So big surprise move. But WHLM's up 160%. SCKT is up 100%. So, for me to have a $100,000 day, I need like 200, 300% movers. And 7-8 months ago, before COVID and kind of before the market tanked and then rebounded and just kind of got totally crazy, we might see a 400% mover once a month, a couple times a month maybe, or sometimes we'd see a couple back-to-back and then it would be slow for like 4 to 6 weeks. And now we're seeing them just back to back to back. I mean, almost like several times a week. But sometimes they're choppy. They're not in the right flow, right price range to really be easy to trade. And so I'm not able to capitalize on all of them. And at this point, I guess I'd say I'm kind of waiting for the next one. Some of the big movers from last week, I don't remember what our biggest percentage movers were. I'd have to go back and check. But we definitely had some nice moves. So again, I mean, it seems crazy to set a monthly goal of $750,000. It's crazy, but the market is crazy volatile right now. And so I'm just going to keep being aggressive and not really get myself too fixated on the monthly goal, just focus on each intraday price action. And at the end of the month, it'll be what it is. I mean, if it's you know, 700 it's 700. If it's 650 it's 650. If I have a red day and I drop down a little bit, I drop down a little bit. But I think I still have some potential here for a strong, really strong finish. I do have some swing trades I'm still holding on Etsy. So this trade I took last week. I sold the weekly 114 by 120 calls. So this one I sold at 88 cents and it's currently at 23 cents. Most likely these will both expire worthless by the end of the week. And I will get to keep the credit. So this was a credit spread. Again, not to overcomplicate things for those that don't understand this. We have an options class that does cover this, and I'll start putting some of this together at some point into a more kind of cohesive guide. But in any case, now Etsy does have earnings coming up on August 5th, I believe, and I am honestly bullish on Etsy in general. My first trade on it was actually a put spread, and then it ended up breaking 109 and I got stopped out for a loss, and at that point I flipped to a call spread at 115 to try to make back some of those profits, because I just thought, well, if it's that weak, it's probably not going to get back to 115 anytime real soon, and that has been correct. So that one I'm holding. SPX and SPY, I sold these, well, they're both based on the S&P 500. So SPY, I sold the 300 puts at 67 cents, and that's down here. So that's a cash secured trade, and so it uses up quite a bit more buying power. But I think obviously for the market to come back down to 300, not only would that be bouncing off support, but that's also like 10% drop. So I feel okay about that one. That's fine, and that's in good shape. SPXS was the same thing except with a spread. So that was a put spread, and I was betting that the market would stay above 3,300. So that one's fine. Not as much profit on that. So I would kind of like to, and I took a trade on Netflix on Friday, or I closed trade on Netflix on Friday. That was not a huge winner. I had the right idea, but because of the spread, I didn't get to benefit from time decay that much, and I ended up just not doing super well on it. So I made like $100. I had the same thing on Tesla. Nice on MNOV. So, you know, sometimes they'll go without you. I'm leaving money on the table today, but I'm walking away with money in my pocket. So although I would like to take another trade, the position of the S&P right now has me a little bit, I'm just kind of like, I don't know. I could see it kind of going either way. So I think I'm just going to hold off on taking anything right now. Maybe I'll come back this afternoon and see if there's something that looks better. But kind of the best to me would be a really obvious daily setup where I could say, all right, well, I think it's very unlikely that Tesla's going back to 1,800 by the end of this week. All right, well, but let's look at the 1,800 puts on it, or calls. So here's the 31st. So we just had earnings, so we don't have earnings coming up right now. So if I do an 1,800 call spread, these are way, way out of the money. So I could do this right here. I could sell these at 175, but then I'd be naked. So I have to actually buy a spread. And you can see that like the 1820 calls are 142 by 175. So if I actually took that, I would need to make sure I got in at the midpoint. And if I sold that trade, my max profit would be $210. But my max loss, if it actually went up to that level, would be $19,000, which is not a good risk reward. Even though the odds are super low that happens, if it did happen, that max loss could get out of control real fast. So I just don't see a good ROI on that right now. So I'm just gonna sit tight for the time being and maybe check things later today or tomorrow. All right, so that's it for me. I hope you guys did well today, and I'll be back at it tomorrow. MNOV continues to rip higher. They're up through 11, so that's awesome. Good job for those of you guys that are still trading that. That first 1 minute candle to make a new high worked right there. Nice. But now, of course, I feel like I'm chasing it, so just take my money off the table and come back tomorrow. All right, I'll see you guys in the morning.
And that right there was an entire video with no ads. I don't monetize my YouTube channel with video ads, which means you guys get to enjoy the content. But do me a favor, please hit that subscribe button and give me a thumbs up and let YouTube know that this channel is the channel to watch if you want to learn about day trading.